this might be the most polarizing player on the Phillies team.
Yeah.
It's Nick Castellanos. Nick Castellanos, 233, 289, 390 slash line, 13 home runs, 30 extra base hits, 47 RBIs. The OPS is creeping up towards 700. We've talked plenty of times about the peaks and valleys of Nick Castellanos. April and May were very, very bad for Nick Castellanos. All of a sudden, June, he turned a corner. You see 276 with 13 extra base hits in June. Has seemingly kind of parlayed that a little bit into July as well. Right. The average has risen from 189 to 233. I don't know, with a guy playing every day, how much more that goes up over the next 60-some-odd games. But if you can get a guy who, at the end of May, was hitting 189 to finish 245, I think I have to be content with that.
I think you do. And the thing is, and I know there were a lot of calls early in the season to give him a couple days off to kind of get right. I think he's the only guy who's played all 96.
Yes.
He's kind of, I don't say he's figured it out, but I think, over the last month or so, like he's kind of, figured it out, I guess, for lack of a better term. Like he's clearly hitting better. That 680 OPS is the worst of his career, but I think that'll get better as time goes. I think it just seems like I think Rob Thompson knows. I think this is a guy who just needs to be in the lineup every day, needs to get those three or four at bats every day just to figure out what's wrong and kind of correct it, in the game. So, and I think we've seen that over the last six weeks, as you can see by those stats.
Yeah, so that May date that we were talking about was May 27th. He had just come off back-to-back 0 for 4s.
Okay.
And I said 189. It was 198. The OPS was at 573. Whew. So not only has he risen his batting average 40-some-odd points, 35 points over the last 2 months, the OPS has gone up 107 points.
Yeah.
He's clearly trending in the right direction. I would expect at some point a Nick Castellanos valley, because right now we're at a Nick Castellanos peak. There's probably going to be a valley.
Right.
He'll probably come back to resurge at some point in the playoffs, and then he'll disappear. Because it's the Nick. To me, I know what Nick Castellanos is, and when I have that expectation, I can kind of wrap my head around the player that I expect him to be. The valleys are infuriating. The peaks, he's one of the hottest hitters on the planet. And I think if this guy ends up at 240, he has 13 home runs right now. If he can get to 20, if he gets to 20, the doubles have improved. We talked about the 13 extra base hits in July. The doubles have improved. He hit 244 or in June, excuse me. He's hitting 244 in July. So maybe he's starting to come back down just a tad. But this is the guy that I expect Nick Castellanos to be. For a guy that plays every day, it's really hard to raise those numbers significantly over a time frame. I give him a C.
And nothing for nothing. The last few years, I know we've ripped him previously. His gloves have been pretty decent. I mean, he's been fine.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to take that 400 some odd games without an error, like I know that they've made him kind of a positional player where. All right, you're only coming in to your left. You're only coming in and to your left. Right. Don't do this. Don't do that. None of this diving. Don't be anybody that you're not.
Right.
But I think that, he's become a better defender. I still think he's not a very good defender.
He's not a good defender, but he's not.
But he's not putrid
anymore. He's not killing you. Right. Yeah.
All of those to be said, I'll give him a C.
Yeah, I think I would give him. I think I'll give him a C. Yeah, I was leaning towards C minus, but again, like you said, like over the last since May 27th. He's been playing well. He's been seeing the ball better. I'll go C. I'll go C as well.